All right, let's just dive right into this explainer. Today, we're doing something a little different. Actually, we're going completely against the grain. We are going to totally debunk that whole 80-hour-a-week hustle myth that's been drilled into us for years. Instead, we're reframing a word that usually gets a pretty bad rap: lazy. Because, in the context of business and investing, being lazy doesn't mean just sitting on the couch doing nothing. It actually means being highly efficient. It's about actively seeking out an intelligent, almost unfair competitive advantage. And right now, that advantage is absolutely artificial intelligence. We're going to look at exactly how everyday people are using AI to just completely bypass traditional business hurdles. Here is our quick roadmap for today. We'll hit the model mismatch, the lazy business criteria, digital products 2.0, our three-step AI system, and finally, mastering influencer arbitrage.
Section 1. The model mismatch.
Look, if you've ever tried to start an online business, maybe you were promised passive income but just ended up burning through your time and money, I really want to validate those frustrations for a second. Because honestly, your past failures aren't actually your fault. The truth is, you've probably fallen victim to what we call the model mismatch. Basically, you were chasing business models that were just never designed for your current career stage. Think about it like going to the gym. There isn't inherently a wrong way to lift, right? But if it's literally your first day and you try to bench press 300 pounds, you're going to get crushed. The exact same thing happens when beginners jump straight into advanced business models. You were chasing things that demanded resources you just didn't have yet.
Let's break down exactly why that happens. You've got popular models like dropshipping and Amazon FBA, right? Well, they have massive systemic barriers built right in. They require a ton of upfront capital, and any winning products you do find tend to burn out incredibly fast. Then, on the other side of the spectrum, you have software. And sure, software is incredibly scalable, but it is super complex, requires a mountain of cash, and is extremely risky to build. So these barriers basically just keep beginners permanently stuck on the sidelines.
Section 2. The lazy business criteria.
Since we know what absolutely doesn't work for beginners, how do we actually find a solution? Well, we can pivot by using a brilliant mental framework developed by some of the world's most successful billionaire investors. Take this famous concept from Charlie Munger, the legendary business partner of Warren Buffett. His whole principle of inversion is a real game changer. He said, invert, always invert. Tell me where I'm going to die so I don't go there. So instead of asking, what's the perfect business, we use this trick to ask, what must a beginner absolutely avoid at all costs? And when we invert the problem like that, the answers become glaringly obvious. We have to avoid business models that aren't scalable, models with massive upfront risk, and models that just offer limited rewards. By flipping the whole thing on its head, we literally get the perfect blueprint for the ideal beginner business model. What we need is high scalability, extremely low risk, and high reward potential. Which brings us to the three pillars of the lazy model criteria. We need to strip the emotion out of this and look at business purely based on ROI. Pillar 1 is scalability, meaning you can make more money without doing any extra work. Pillar 2 is risk. Getting started has to require little to no upfront investment. And Pillar 3 is reward. It needs serious upside potential, so that when you win big.
Okay, imagine two entirely different bakeries. Bakery 1 is your standard traditional shop. If they want to serve more customers, they have to buy more ovens, order more flour, and hire more staff. Their costs just keep going up with every single new customer. But Bakery 2? Bakery 2 has this magic recipe. It can literally duplicate its dough automatically, meaning they can serve 100 or even 1,000 customers with the exact same ingredients and the exact same effort. Now, which bakery would you rather own? Obviously Bakery 2, right?
Section 3. Digital Products 2.0.
This is the specific vehicle that perfectly meets our lazy model criteria, and it acts exactly like that magic bakery we just talked about. Digital products specifically powered by AI. To really grasp why this is so revolutionary, imagine you're playing a spinning wheel game. The wheel is split into red and green slices. Green means a huge win, red means you fail. Now, normally, every single spin costs you money out of pocket. But with AI-powered digital products, you get unlimited free spins. Because AI lets you create these products in minutes for practically zero cost. So if a product fails, if you land on red, it costs you absolutely nothing. You just spin again and again. You literally only need to land on green once to completely change your life. Consider the number 21,000 for a second. That represents the number of actual sales for a super simple, non-expert digital product that just teaches basic solutions for dog training. Just think about that. 21,000 people.
That's enough to fill a major sports arena. Bought a simple digital guide just because it solved a really painful problem for them. It completely proves that the market demand for these hyper-targeted digital products is just massive.
Now, I know you might be thinking, but wait, I don't know the first thing about dog training. But hey, that's the absolute beauty of this system. You don't need to be an expert because the AI is the expert. AI can instantly scour the internet, cross-reference scientific studies, and synthesize the best possible information in minutes. Take Cyberflow Academy, for example. It's this hugely successful cybersecurity program, but the creator's face isn't anywhere on it. Their voice isn't even in it. It's completely faceless. Because the value of a digital product isn't about who made it. It's entirely about the problem it solves. It's exactly like a treasure map. Nobody cares who drew the map as long as it actually leads them to the gold.
Having said that, a huge point of failure for beginners is using the wrong tools. You can't just open up basic generic AI and expect to pop out a professional-grade product. Honestly, that's like trying to perfectly slice delicate sushi with a dull butter knife. To really succeed here, you need the chef's knife. You need specialized AI tools built for highly specific tasks. I'm talking about tools like 11 Labs for ultra-realistic voice generation, Synthesia to spin up high-quality video courses in minutes, and Audiogram for clean, engaging visuals. These specialized tools, that is your unfair competitive advantage.
Section 4. The 3-Step AI System.
Now that we understand the vehicle and the tools, let's break down a very clear step-by-step execution plan to turn AI into a literal product creation machine. Step 1, identify profitable opportunities. Step 2, synthesize the information. And Step 3, productize. Let's look at each one.
So the most crucial part of Step 1 is avoiding oversaturated markets, what we'd call red oceans. And we do this using something called the third layer theory. You don't want to just target a massive broad market like fitness. That's layer 1. Layer 2 might be slightly better, like running. But layer 3, your unique value zone, is something hyper-specific, like resolving knee pain for marathoners over 50. By drilling down 3 full layers, you basically eliminate your competition and find an audience that is absolutely desperate for your exact solution.
And to validate that this desperate demand actually exists, you can just browse the recent activity or most money made sections on platforms like Whop or Etsy. Or even better, go follow an account called @WhopBot on X. That bot is crazy. It constantly sends out alerts whenever a digital product crosses $100,000 in sales. It gives you absolute real-time proof of exactly what people are opening their wallets for right now.
Okay, once you've nailed down your highly specific topic, steps 2 and 3 kick in. You use those specialized AI tools we talked about to scrape research, or even cross-check the Facebook ad library to see what's already working. Then you productize. And please listen to this advice because it's so important and honestly very freeing. Do not start by spending weeks building some massive video course. Just don't. Start with a very simple, incredibly cheap ebook format. Your only goal at this stage is to get 1 to 3 sales. That's it. That is your proof of concept. Once the market proves they're willing to pay for it, then you can confidently upgrade the whole thing into a high-ticket video course.
Section 5. Mastering Influencer Arbitrage. So we've arrived at the final hurdle. You've got this great digital product, but how do you actually get it in front of buyers without risking your own hard-earned cash on ads? Well, we need to completely reframe how you think about marketing. Basically, forget the word selling. Just scratch it. You need to focus entirely on distribution. Think about a brand like Cheerios. They don't go door to door trying to convince people to buy cereal. They just make sure their boxes are sitting right there on the supermarket shelves, directly in front of pre-sold buyers who went to the store looking for breakfast. You need to do the exact same thing with your digital product. And the strategy to pull this off is called influencer arbitrage. It is just brilliant in its simplicity. You go out and find micro-influencers, maybe someone with, say, 44,000 really engaged followers, whose specific audience perfectly aligns with the problem your product solves. Now, these influencers have a lot of attention, but they actually often struggle to monetize it effectively. So you pitch them a win-win deal. They promote your product to their audience, and you give them a healthy percentage of the profits, but only after they generate the sales. You get massive distribution, and it costs you absolutely zero upfront ad spend.
Just take a step back and look at what we've covered today. All those structural disadvantages that used to keep beginners totally locked out of the online business world, the need for massive capital, the insane risk, the years of deep expertise, they have literally all been wiped out by AI. You now have access to the absolute best specialized tools. You have the ability to take unlimited free spins on that wheel without risking your livelihood. The entire landscape has completely shifted to give you the ultimate competitive advantage.
So I want to leave you with this one final thought. Now that all the old barriers are gone, and you're holding the exact playbook, are you ready to play the game?